It's mixed emoji, the number 23, with a focus on fighting types. First, the martial arts uniform emoji, the Emoji. These really show how often our designers wash their clothes. Apple's looks impatient. The Googie takes the clever precaution of wrapping around the back. You don't want your opponent disrobing you. Microsoft's the only non-black belt is for legless rectangle people. Samsung's looks shrugful. I suppose you'd use it in martial arts. If you have the physique of this Twitter emoji, I think you're technically classed as a wall. Emoji 1 have slashed up the forearms a bit for some edgy style. Emoji went for the below the belt move of including trousers with their gi. Wearing trousers makes judo cleaner, but less fun. I think Emojipedia themselves have done it best, conveying that very familiar element of a gi, really baggy sleeves. Now, people's all the time be asking me, how do you review emoji with boxing gloves on? These gloves are fisting in all kinds of directions. Google's looks more like the trophy you win for having the biggest underbite. Microsoft's colour scheme betrays them for this postmodern nonsense. Samsung's is the head of a startled turtle, a sturtle. Emojipedia have drawn a gaunt, elderly gauntlet who might hand out sage wisdom to today's youngsters. It's him! Facebook have a risque glove that would show a bit of wrist. Emoji trap inch. Facebook gets it here. That angle has an impact to it. Now, I must point out here that the wrestling emoji is fake. They're not even... It's fake, okay? Fake. They're actors. Not real. Apple's combatants seem to be wrestling with the latest gossip. Google's are two friends who haven't seen each other in ages. Their faces don't know how to express it, but their bodies do. Microsoft's are having a team meeting. This Facebook wrestler's gimmick is that two of his limbs are made of shadow. Emoji 1's wrestlers are performing the classic confrontation, rock, paper, scissors. Trust Emoji to take a different approach with this luchador character with amazing clavicles who just bops around on his pecs and uses a mainly shoulder-based wrestling style. This is a difficult one to pick, as none of them really look to me like they're confronting each other, and it fails to include the hallmarks of wrestling like the ropes, chairs that are so breakable that surely nobody would ever sit on them, so why is it even considered a chair, and men who look like huge wet babies. I guess Twitter looks very slightly more like they're squaring up than boogieing down, so I picked that one. Yeah, really, a Twitter emoji. Female wrestlers are also available with various reinterpretations of Placebo's second album cover. Emoji 1's characters are enjoying this a bit too much. Twitter get it best again, though I do wonder what's keeping those ponytails up. Drugs? It's the fist emoji coming straight at you. The fisted hand is always a right hand, which is kind of ironic because it's mostly used against the alt-right. I'm looking for depth, power, poise, correct thumb placement, and clean fingernails, and nothing like this Microsoft abomination. Really, if we weren't on the fist page, would you know what this is? No, you wouldn't, thanks. HTC have supermarket sausages. Facebook's looks more like a pointing finger. There's a certain saturation of yellow at which a non-racial emoji starts to just look like a cheese sculpture. Twitter have gone the Picasso route. Apple wins with its depth. The flexed bicep emoji is uniformly disturbing. Apple puts advanced detail into the hand and then screws up the actual bit they're meant to be portraying by drawing it as a kind of whoopee cushion. Here's a tortoise realizing it left its shell at home. Arms are weird by themselves, aren't they? They all look severed, like they've been said farewell to, especially if they have a full outline or a weird fade that implies it's infinite in length. LG's is a really bad water gun. Twitter's and Mozilla's look like a non-sexual invite to a party mansion. The range of creative anatomy at hand here is never more fun than weird. I just want to get off of this cursed page so Facebook gets it for their comic book vibe. The fencer now. What a bendy ape. Microsoft have drawn some space fencing. Stargate. No. Samsung have the fattest little fencer, and that sword looks like it was made for cutting people up. You know, and not a game where you just dodge around and poke people. Emojipedia have really gone for the buttock detail. Facebook's fencer stabs into your conversation with an actually. Twitter's just looks like a grey-skinned person in a swimsuit with no face. Emoji 1's mask is covered with cement. You're not allowed to throw cement in fencing, I've been told. I don't care enough about fencing to know if any of these are inaccurate. I like emoji for their shapely portrayal of a thrusting attack, even if it is tiny. When the thrust is good enough, size doesn't matter. Cow! If you liked this video, that almost brings meaning to my life.